This past weekend, as I tend to do, I watch a lot of football games. On Saturday, I watched the FA Cup semifinal between Manchester City and Chelsea. Zack Steffen, our number one goalkeeper for the U.S. men's national team, in goal for Manchester City. Fantastic. Big fan. But in the game, he came off his line, made a mistake, and it cost him. Chelsea scored the goal that was the difference. He only faced 3 shots in the entire game. It was just a mistake. Mistakes happen. But that, coupled with other mistakes I may have seen from him, particularly playing out of the back when he was at the U.S. men's national team earlier this year and at the end of last year. And I said, all of that information together, I am less convinced. I'm not 100% convinced that Zack Steffen is our number one keeper. The competition should be open. This is the Soccer OG. Please subscribe. We talk about everything. And of course, we're talking about the U.S. men's national team. So I sent that tweet out. People supported it, and a lot of people said I was crazy. But I just realized the stupidity of a lot of people on Twitter, surprise, is in what they would say. So I said that about Zack Steffen. They said, first of all, give him a break. And then I was like, whoa. And I want to remind everybody, once again, in case you forgot, we did not qualify for the World Cup in 2018. So, no breaks. This is a tough job. These players want it. And as you know, if you watch my videos, no one speaks higher of our U.S. players than I do. I am always in their corner, even when they're wrong. I go overboard singing their praises. And trust me, I get a lot of pushback from a lot of folks because of it. But those are my guys. I look out for them. And I will look out for Zack Steffen. Perhaps he is our number one keeper. I just want to see competition at that position. And I don't know if we are going or if we have seen it. I'm a little worried. Now, before we tell the story about Zack Steffen and who should be the number one, we're going to go back in history for the U.S. men's national team. Goalkeeping was our thing. We produced the best goalkeepers in the world at one point. Brad Friedel, a legend in the Premier League, Blackburn Rovers, it was incredible on the national team. Fantastic. Casey Keller. He had to back up Brad Friedel at the World Cup. Remember that? You could have argued these are 2 of the 10 best keepers in the world at the time. Tim Howard not only played in England, but he played for the biggest club in the world at Manchester United. We are pumping out keepers at an incredible pace. We're not doing that now. I hope it's cyclical and it comes back because you need a goalkeeper. They're kind of important. Maybe our best position now is fullback. We're producing a lot of good ones, a lot of depth. Serginho Dest, Anthony Robinson, Reggie Cannon, who am I forgetting? Brian Reynolds, DeAndre Yedlin. We're doing very well there. And at other positions, all ahead of goalkeeping. But goalkeeping, one mistake could change it all. So we've got to make sure we have the right guy. And maybe, again, it is Zack Steffen. There are other candidates. Not a lot, but we'll go over the list of guys. There's one clear one that I want in Matt Turner. When I watch him, the problem with Matt Turner, and going back to the Twitter situation, and this is why I was scratching my head. They said Zack Steffen should be the number one because he is playing in Europe. Even though he's not playing all the time with Man City, he's played 1 league game, he's played 5 FA Cup games and 4 League Cup games. He's going to play in the final of the League Cup, according to Pep Guardiola. And I think he's had a UEFA game as well in there. He's not playing all the time. So just training in England isn't making you better than playing every week in Major League Soccer. That is outrageous. That is a situation that Zack Steffen has to alleviate. He has to be a regular player, week in, week out. Maybe next season he becomes that. You can't be a backup and expect to play a featured role in a World Cup. It's just not good business. So Zack Steffen has that against him. And then the mistakes, they're not a lot, but I see them, and I don't see them from a guy like Matt Turner. Now, Steffen's 26, Matt Turner's 26. The fact that Matt Turner's still in Major League Soccer is puzzling because he does things that I don't see many goalkeepers do. His distribution is top 1%, as in not just dumping the ball downfield, finding a player, boop, hitting it to him. 10-yard pass, 20-yard pass, 30-yard pass on the button. Does it really well. Positioning, fantastic. Is it easier to be well positioned in Major League Soccer than the Premier League? Probably. It's another level, the Premier League, and it's harder. The chances are coming in. But remember, even in this FA Cup semifinal, Zack Steffen faced 3 shots. And 1 went into the back of the net. Again, not reason to drop him as the number 1. All I want is competition. We need to have that. In the 4 A-team games for the U.S. men's national team from November to the early spring here, all 4 of them, Zack Steffen started. Now, they didn't have MLS players in many of these, but they could have had Matt Turner and started. But the fact that he started all 4, and the fact that the men's national team coach, Greg Berhalter, is also, or was, Zack Steffen's goalkeeper at the Columbus Crew, suggests to me that I think that decision, by and large, has been made, barring an injury or something. And there's the point as well. Zack Steffen 2 years ago was an MLS goalkeeper, so that debate loses all credibility. Matt Turner is the guy I think should get competition for that shirt, and a lot of it. And I hope he gets it. Maybe he's getting it. I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. But I want to see who the number 1 is. So you have Steffen. You have Matt Turner. Who else? Ethan Horvath. Got off to a good start. Plays in Europe. Club Bruges. I should say doesn't play in Europe. He's been the backup there. And he's kind of fallen off the map. That's why backups, no backups. If you're the backup for club, you can't be the number 1 for country. I think that's a pretty straightforward rule to live by. Zack Steffen becomes the number 1 goalkeeper at Man City, then I don't think we can argue anything. And the fact that Pep Guardiola loves him and Pep Guardiola said he's great with his feet, this is all fantastic. But it shouldn't be the reason he's number 1. Ethan Horvath, 25, backup at Club Bruges. There's some good guys in Major League Soccer. Sean Johnson, Bill Hamid. I don't think they're going to get that high up to compete. So really, Zack Steffen benefits from a small goalkeeping pool. Chituru Odunze, 18-year-old, who is 6'7". Interesting prospect, but he's not going to be ready for 2022, maybe 2026. And maybe someone else comes along that we haven't announced. But it's going to be tough to break through at the top for Zack Steffen. So for the rest of the year, we shall see. I know Zack Steffen is the favorite for the majority of people. There is a quiet, loud minority for Matt Turner. And maybe Matt Turner gets that opportunity and he's just not there. And maybe goalkeeping is not our top position, which is fine. But we got to make sure we vet all these things to the very end. And we get the best goalkeeper possible and we're prepared for that stretch so that we don't miss the World Cup again. This is the Soccer OG. Make sure you check out my podcast, also called the Soccer OG. Imagine that. Plenty of great guests. I have a good one there with Mauricio Pedrosa of ESPN Deportes. It's out there. Never a dull minute in the soccer. We're going to keep looking at the U.S. men's team and how it develops. And remember, who loves you, baby? I love these U.S. guys. I'm looking out for their best interests always, but we got to have